This video is available on videogcse.com. Question 12a. Solve the inequality 3t plus 1 is less than t plus 12. Okay, if you've no idea what this is all about, t is a letter that is standing for a number. Solve means find out what number that is. We don't know what number t is, but we do know that t times 3 plus 1 is less than t plus 12. So we can treat this pretty much as an equation. Even though this is an equality, the same methods still apply. So if you know those, great. If you don't, I'll show you. It says this question is worth 2 marks. So let's copy this question, bring it over, and we can see what we're doing. Okay, so it's nice and big. Okay, some stuff I was doing before. Okay, 12a, solve the inequality 3t plus 1 is less than t plus 12. Well, we have one unknown, t. It's on both sides of our inequality. I know that this inequality is less than, because this is pointing to the left. If it was pointing to the right, it would mean greater than. So what's on the left of it is less than what's on the expression to its right. We need to get on one side of our inequality t, and then on the other side of our inequality some number. So we want on this side, doesn't matter which side, but well, actually it'll be easier to keep it on this side. Yeah, we want on this side t, and then on this side some number. So we'll know the range of numbers that t is less than. Okay, let's start by, we're going to use the inverse method as always for solving unknowns, for solving inequalities and equations. We do the inverse of the less number of t is here, the less number of unknowns. So on the left side we have 3t, and on the right side we have 1t. So we're going to subtract 1t from both sides. We're going to subtract t from both sides because we do the inverse. This side has plus t, so we're going to do minus t, and you'll see why in a second. So 3t plus 1 minus t, because what we do to one side we must also do to the other to keep everything the way it is less than t plus 12 minus t. And you can see there that I've simply subtracted t from both sides of this inequality. So I'm just rearranging it. Okay, well 3t minus t leaves 2t, plus 1 remains. Don't be tempted to try to add or subtract 1. We can't do that just yet. We can't add 1 to t because we don't know what t is. And on the other side we have t minus t. Well, that leaves 0. T minus t leaves 0. And 0 plus 12 is simply 12. So now we've made things a little simpler. We need to go a step further. We know that 2t plus 1 is less than 12. We've made progress. Now we still don't have t by itself, so we have to go further. We have 2t plus 1, so we'll do the inverse of plus 1 in order to get t by itself. So the inverse of plus 1 is minus 1. So 2t plus 1 minus 1 is less than 12 minus 1. We subtracted 1 from the left because we have plus 1 here. We're doing the inverse to turn it into 0. And we do the same to the right as well. Minus 1. Okay, so 2t plus 1 minus 1 leaves 0. So 1 minus 1 leaves 0, and 2t plus 0 is simply 2t. So we can just leave that out, 2t. is less than 12 minus 1, 11. And we're almost there. We don't know what number t is yet, but we do know that if you multiply it by 2 that it's less than 11. So we do the inverse of times 2 to both sides, which is divided by 2. So we divide both sides by 2. So we write down 2t divided by 2 is less than 11 divided by 2. To keep this statement true, we do the same to both sides. We're dividing 2t by 2 to get 1t, and so we must divide the other side by 2 as well to keep the statement true. So 2t divided by 2, well 2 divided by 2 is 1. That leaves us with 1t. A simpler way of writing 1t is simply t. T is less than 11 divided by 2, which is 5.5, 5.5, however you want to say that. Okay, this is our final answer. T is less than 5.5. Let's check the mark scheme to see if I did this correctly. This is question 12a. 12a, yep. T is less than 5.5. Here's the working that you can expect to have done. Yeah, that's more or less what I did. If you got 5.5, award yourself 2 marks. If you did some of the things that are in here, award yourself the marks accordingly. For example, if you had something like 3t minus t is less than 12 minus 1, then award yourself 1 mark, even if you didn't get the final answer correct. And if you want to know more, you can pause here and read this mark scheme to see which marks you want to award yourself. Okay, thank you for watching this video brought to you by videogcse.com.